Hey everyone, Sean Savin Moo at your service, and today, as you saw in the title, several of you are going to be getting some big bursts of speed. I had a student just today, again, it happens on a regular basis, 99 miles per hour club speed, hitting the driver 220 because no release, need a good solid release. We're going to show you how that works. Angle of attack was on the way down and club face was wide open. So it was wide open for two reasons. A, it wasn't closed enough to begin with, and B, the release sucked. So we proceeded within 15 minutes to increase that 220 to something that looks a little more like yours, Sav, at 255 carry. Those are your old numbers. 255 carry and 270 total. So we go from 220 total to 270 total, that's 50 yards. So we're really not exaggerating the numbers, and this is not clickbait. So you want to stick around because the information we're going to show you is not only well within you, and you notice all the tools that I got, you've done this before in other sports and you're not even aware of it. So stay tuned and we'll show you. But of course, we would really love for you to stick around forever and subscribe to our channel.
Leave a comment down below and give us a thumbs up.
And be sure to hit the bell so you never miss the videos.
Forever.
Yeah. Hotel California.
That's it. Hotel California. That's it. So get yourself a household hammer. So let's say you're hammering down on something, right? And then you want to hammer through on something. So you get set up to a door frame right next to it. Don't hit it. And pretend the door frame is not going to hold. After you're done coming through the door frame, you can't hang on to this. You've got to let it release. This is what we call pronation. So if I do it towards you, I'm coming in, there's the nail through the door frame, and after that occurs, I gotta allow the hammer to release. So notice how the hammer releases my anatomy and rehinges on the other side. Now I can release in the opposite direction. So if you're lead hand dominant, so some of you are playing right-handed, but you're left hand dominant, or vice versa, like Phil Mickelson, he plays left-handed, but he's right hand dominant. He's got a right-handed throwing arm. So I'm going to get ready to hammer this way. When I'm done, that shoulder needs relief. So what happens is the elbow kicks down and allows the hammer to release. So you see that supinated release. So if I go towards you, through the door frame, let it release. Right there. So now, if you look at a tennis player, go to Pete Sampras, pronated serve. If I'm serving towards you, you like my beautiful aluminum racket? This is my high school racket. I still have, this is Owen Davidson. It's still got the serial number on this thing. So I'm going towards you. Notice how the racket looks like it's going to split the tennis ball. And then after it releases, see the pronation? So I'm releasing. And my anatomy needs relief, and this is self-preservation 101. You don't want to take out a kneecap while you're trying to serve a tennis ball. So there's that release. If I had a sword and I wanted to slash a sword through a bamboo shoot, take your club upside down, give it a good slash through an imaginary sugar cane or bamboo shoot, and you see and feel how the weight of the sword is going to release you. So if your trail hand does this, the lead hand must yield. For so many of you, you're going to slash this way and take out your shoulder or have to let go of the club. I see this all the time. So you can't let go of the club. And notice how that elbow's got to kick down to allow the hand to fully release and fully yield. So if I'm playing hockey and I'm releasing towards you, this would stay under the camera. See that? and this would be flipping over the boards. The puck's going to slide off and go high and very soft. So if you're hitting with a lot of spin and the ball's trailing off and it's sliding off the face, that's a really crappy feel to have with the driver. And you're just, I'm trying to find a polite term, but you're just, leaving a lot on the table, right? So when I'm throwing towards you, notice how my lead hand's got to release, my trail hand is releasing over it here. So I am actually collecting the ball there and releasing the ball into the picture over here. So that's the general outlook of the release. So when you do get that release and you observe the ball flight and the ball flight is still going to the right for the righty, this is what would happen with Savannah. Savannah, take your driver, come over here. And if your grip is not strong enough, so you remember we talked about the hammer. I'm hammering down. Now I'm going to hammer through. Go ahead and take your grip right next to me, Sav. So the face of my hammer is the face of Savannah's driver. Do you see any difference right now? Look at my grip, look at Sav's grip. That's a very strong grip. For me, that would be Snap Hook City because I have a much more effective or a much more pronounced release. I wouldn't say more effective because your release is very effective. But my release is very pronounced. I have a big range of motion in my release that brings the ball back for me, and it keeps me through the ball. Thanks, dear. So if you add a couple of knuckles and the release and the ball's going the way you want to, that's the way it needs to be for you. If you release out there with 4 knuckles and the ball is hooking too much, then take a knuckle off or 2. As long as you have that release, however, there's a big burst of speed that exists in that space. You cannot hang on to it. That's like a check swing in baseball. That's like a check swing in ping pong. Instead of allowing that ping pong racket to fully release through that topspin backhand smash release. You got that? All right. So let's look at in the swing what's going to transpire. So if I take my little right-handed 7-iron, so I'm going to hit a little draw. I'm playing the ball back. Notice how I'm behind. I'm getting ready to hammer in that direction. So I'm going to be hammering to the right of my intermediate point. Now I'm just going to throw the club with ease in that direction. The ball starts off to the right, draws back to the center line. Boom, there's my lovely 7-iron. I'll take that, huh? So my carry typically with the 7-irons between 185 and 190. And we got 187 on that one. Fantastic. Okay? So now let's look at the driver. If I do the same thing, loves to take a couple of upside down releases, especially with that lead hand. See that lead hand? Never let go of that lead hand and really allow it to fully rotate. So here's a little draw. I'm just going to throw it to the right edge of that intermediate point. Here we go. Off it goes to the right. Coming back beautifully.
Nice flight.
Right center of the fairway. And lovely little draw about 307 down the right center of the fairway. Okay? So that's why at age 55, I'm very much benefiting from 110 miles per hour. I can crank it up there to about 120 miles an hour if I want to open things up. But that's my cruising speed. So 110 miles an hour should get you over 300 yards if your elements, if the swing elements are there. So we need a closed face. We need a release, And we need to catch that sucker on the way up and to the right, so we give it a little draw spin with very low backspin, okay? That's how we increase that speed and decrease the spin. So let's have a look at a couple of my favorite lefties on the planet here that have really improved their techniques as of recent. So, you know, Sav's done a couple of one-and-dones in the last video that were $299 total, and let's see if she can do it now. So Sav, how do you like my racket?
It's vintage.
Vintage, that's a very polite term for it.
I like vintage.
All right, so Sav is gonna show you, from her tennis days, a beautiful topspin backhand. We're gonna do one that way, and we're gonna do one toward the camera. So show us in slow motion. Waiting for that. Goes down and under, up and release. So do you guys see that release of her left hand over the right hand there? That's how you create that spin, right? So if you just do that, that's like a defensive, you know, stop the tennis ball, versus there you get that burst of speed through that release. Do one toward the camera now. Excellent. So let's go with the driver. So a really good way to translate what we just did. So Savannah did a topspin backhand, and we want to do that down the line. So imagine you were in what your driver swing is. You're going left edge of the intermediate point, starting to the left of the target and drawing it back.
Yeah, it's down the line.
So it's like you're trying to start the tennis ball just a little outside the line and draw it back into the tennis court.
Yeah.
So for you tennis players out there, there's your cue. Beauty. So just outside the court, back to inside the court, and the ho-hum 280. Right? I know you're not happy with that because this is not what you've been doing lately, but I really love.
Just slow on the face, that's it.
So it was just a little bit low on the face, that's all. But look at that. This is what I wanted to show everybody. Your swing was going out to the left, your face was 2.9 degrees closed. Look at it. Club head speed is still over 105. You caught it on the way up, so it's like you're doing a top spin. And look at that backspin. Even though you hit that low on the face, you're still 2200 spin. That's phenomenal. So this is going to give you really good misses. So I wanted to show you one of Sav's misses, okay? And then let's see if we can get her to nut one for you.
There it is.
How was that, Sav? So good demonstration on the nut. You still got the same speed. But we nutted that right on the kisser. 10 degrees up. Look at the spin now. 1650 and just a little bit closed. What a perfect drive that was. Look at that. 285 carry, 308 total. Man, it's just amazing.
That's a
Yes, that was amazing. So the improvement, and I have to congratulate you, Sav. You and Moo have been working your tail feathers off.
Yeah, you can include some of my workout clips in the video.
Yes, I'll do that. Here's Sav working
It'll
out.
make more sense if they see what kind of stuff I do in the
Yes, exactly. That's a good idea. I really appreciate that. All right, so let's see what Moo's got.
Oh, he's got hats.
Dude, you hit that with mass.
There we go.
Moo
Yeah.
is a one-trick, one-shot. Look at that.
That felt good.
Isn't that pretty? I mean,
How long was that?
gosh, Moo.
260?
Yeah,
I mean, 260. What am I saying?
just a beautiful drive, man. Okay, so right in the center of the face. Look at that. 6 degrees up, 21, almost 22 speed. The spin.
Yeah.
Face was only 2.5 or 2.2 degrees closed. That's your cruising speed at 128.
Yeah.
So the carry on that was 330.
Yeah.
Just flippin' gorgeous drive.
Show the replay.
So this is exactly what we're talking about. Now, while I'm showing you the replay, you're going to see Moo doing his his little drills with his one hand, you know, just so you can see the release there. And here is the replay. So notice that shot starts off beautifully out there and just comes right back, lands a little left, takes a nice bounce, and now we're just about 20 feet from the center line at 350 yards. Just amazing,
So fun.
right?
Yeah.
So to recap, we need a strong enough grip. We need a full release of the anatomy. And we need a proper focus. We're hitting the ball or catching the tip of the tee. So if you want to go see a couple of our other videos, just type in driver Sean Clement on YouTube and see all the driver videos we've done throughout the years. The technique never changes. We're always catching the tip of the tee on the way up as we're releasing into the target. So the burst of speed, the peak speed of the swing is out there in the direction of the target.
Right.
So that's why you'll see, you know, Sav and Moo and myself, there's this beautiful deep squat. We're getting the ground to deliver the action way out there into the direction that we want to start the ball. So when you have those ingredients in place, you can really shine with the driver, and we really want this for you, okay? So if you need extra help, go to our premium channel. Go to wisdomandgolfpremium.com, where we have videos, the three of us, myself, where we have face-on, down-the-line cameras. When you see us on the golf course, we have a nice drone view from the top, and we have some GoPro views as well. So you really get a three-dimensional picture of what we're showing you and what we're transmitting to you, okay? So see you next week. All the best.